Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising, today is a new day to start again. It is 3/7/2025. I woke up out of bed like a rocket this morning. I want to make a full disclaimer or disclosure right off the bat here. I am from Indiana, and I am a lifelong Indiana Pacers fan. It's probably my most near and dear fandom. I love basketball, and I have a lot of problems with all of anything organized like that now, especially if there's a lot of money involved. But I still have a lot of nostalgia towards the Indiana Pacers, so it's my guilty pleasure, and they are pretty good this year. I've been struggling because in Indiana, where I live, if you were a fan to this team, you actually have to go to the games because you can't watch them on TV because they black it out. So you can't watch them. Nobody can show it in the area. So the only way I can see them is if I drive my car, which I don't think would be wise for me to drive back and forth, not to mention how much money it costs. So as a fan, you're kind of like, I don't even really want to watch you people, but it's not the players' fault, and I still like the team. So I've been struggling all season long to figure out how to be able to watch the games. And I did find that there was one place in town where I could go where they would have every game as long as they were open, and they were pretty much open always. But I really don't want to go there. So I wouldn't watch the games. And then I tried recently because they actually had, I'm going to just get into it. Why not? This is going to be a long one. The Pacers had two key players hurt for most of the season, so they really were just maintaining, but they caught fire. The reason why I'm bringing all this up is I tried to get the games, and I was paying through Amazon $8.99 a month, but guess what? Still can't watch it. They still black it out, even if I'm paying for it. So I turned that off. Thank goodness I'm getting better with that. That's something as you get older in age that you learn, is to make sure you close down your old stupid mistakes on your impulse plays that you do on these phones. So what am I saying about all this? So last night I was talking with a guy while I was eating, and some of the things that I do get positive out of this interaction that I have with the public is he told me that through FanDuel they have a thing, somehow it is able to, so if I'm breaking the law here, shit, I've done a lot worse. But if you get FanDuel, it's got to be might help people. It's got to be the actual television version. There's an app there's a bunch of different FanDuel apps, but it's got to be the television one. And if you get that and you pay $20, but you get the first week free, $20 a month, and you can cancel at any time. So I could watch until the playoffs, and then all the playoff games would be televised. Or it is pretty cool. The one bummer is, since I'm going to keep going with this, I got it on my phone, and I'm happy about that. I'm not happy about paying $20 a month, but I'm like, whatever. I get to watch what I want to watch. But it is just that, and like 3 other teams that I don't care about. Maybe I should start. I don't want to invest really even into this, but it is something I want to do. So whatever. I am doing it, and but here I can't figure out how to get it on my phone to the TV. It's supposed to link, and it's not, and I hate when stuff like that happens. Usually it's real easy, and both are brand new. I don't understand it, so I guess I need to Google it, but that's hard. I don't even know what to Google to figure out I don't know how to phrase it. So I'll have to work on that, I guess. I'm sure it's easy to be done. I'll figure it out. So today is the opposite of yesterday. Yesterday I woke up and I wanted to sing and had nothing to say, and then today I woke up ready to go, and I was sitting there for a long time with nothing to say. But then obviously I had a lot to say because I'm 5 minutes in and I haven't even read anything that I've written. That's what I do with these that are just people that are just following along. I wake up in the mornings and I basically write down everything I'm thinking about. And it can be kind of crazy because I'm a little bit loony, but it helps me to like calibrate for the day. And then I just put it on video format. And there's a lot of them. And they all basically say the same stupid stuff. But it's my thing, and I've been thinking about it. And I don't know that anybody's ever done anything like this before. I've never seen it done where somebody videotapes their life every day, just willingly. And I don't know. Somebody might get a kick out of it somewhere down the line if everything still stays up. The tent doesn't fall down. The best you can do, no matter what day you have awakened, remember yesterday. Look outside if you can. Get a good feel for your home. That's what I've been working on. Check on loved ones. All of this is done usually like in the first few moments. It's just instant. I love the mornings. I have absolutely nothing important to do today, and I have no plans. I used to hate my alarm clock when I was a kid, especially. I think that there's something to that where you're forced to wake up before your parents as a teenager and do a bunch of stuff in the mornings, interacting with your parents who are having bad days. And sometimes the kid is right and the parent is wrong, but the parent's got the power. And so the teenage kid, which is the worst situation to put a teenager in, because they already think they're smarter than you are, and they might be. I mean, we do evolve, right? Do we not get smarter? Does it really make sense that we get dumber? I know that they're trying to make us dumber, but that might just be because of how smart we can truly be once they figure it out. I think these kids are smarter than we think, honestly. I know my kids are smarter than me. I don't know about your kids, but my kids are definitely smarter than I am. Anyways, I used to hate my alarm clock. I hated that thing. Some people really despise their alarm clock. You don't want to wake up in the mornings angry. So I guess what I was really trying to hit here, and then I went way off into the weeds in different directions, but what I was trying to go with right here was when I changed my life to where when I'm going to work, it's not after I've just awakened, but I've been awake for a while. I have a weird thing, but I think any way you schedule it, you definitely don't want to be like waking and going into work in that kind of stage. You want to, it's a bad way to live. Especially if I'm angry because I don't want to go, because I don't feel good, and I'm being forced to go, and you don't even think it's right or fair. The big gain that I found in my life also was when I quit drinking, it did become much easier because I didn't have to take a shower before I went in. I could slide into work disheveled because I didn't have a rank to me. Hiding a hangover is not easy, and it also depends on what you're drinking, but verse 29 of the Tao Te Ching. There is a time for being ahead, a time for being behind, a time for being in motion, and a time for being at rest. There is a time for a hangover, and there is a time for sobriety. You will reap what you sow during those moments. There's times to harvest. You want to be on your best whenever it's time to harvest. And that's on you if you ain't. I've begun to really compartmentalize. And man, when I wrote that word down, there's a word part in it. Mentalize. I mean, there's so much to that word. But it is I think compartmentalizing probably is one of the most beneficial things you can use in this crazy society that we have. So one thing that has helped me with these videos, I don't know why, but it's helped me break my life into segments because each of these videos are a segment. So by doing these videos, I've created this segment of time for me that is new day to start. So I put on a costume, I prepare, and I do it. So then after I'm done with this, what I generally do is I take a I don't, maybe I shouldn't get too personal. I do some things, some spiritual practices that help me for another hour or so. So I cool down, and then I go back to sleep for a little bit. I don't always sleep, but I have like an hour of basically, I have like an hour of cool down time that I have nothing to do before I go to work. And that kind of sets me up to get myself prepared to go into, because I've got an 8 or 9 hour day where I really have to try. What I've been trying to do is take it front end to back end. And in the Tao Te Ching, you do as well in the beginning as you do at the end. I try to apply all of that into my character that I'm playing with a new costume. And I have been taking time to pick out my costume for the day. That has been something new that I've been doing, and putting intent into what I'm wearing, which makes it to where you're playing a role, and it helps me to define what I'm doing. All of that's been kind of helping me, really, and treating these moments as just moments, and putting as much weight on them as needs to be put on them, that they are just a moment. The reason why this has become so important to me is because I think that I found home really in episode 7 of Fresh Eyes that I did, which I think I'm done now. I think I'm good because I found home. And it was it's not a great video, but for me, I really do think that that idea that I had in that video, it really sparked with me that you take that with you. So I'm going to just read what I wrote here. I found my home. My home, I've always had it, but I just found it. And I think I will always know where home is from now on. So that really has helped me. I do want to travel. I feel intrigued to travel, but I want to take home with me wherever I go. So when I leave home, it's really just me acting. So when I leave home to go to work, I'm really taking home with me, but I put on a cover over it. And then when you interact with me outside of my home, I am really just acting. And that's what we all are doing. To act is to be out in public, to act, to action is to play or work. You are to work or play a part. That's what you're going into. A part of what? It depends on where you're going. These are, and then I thought it was funny, hour. Sometimes I think I flow off because I lose people because my segues are not as good as they could be. So that's a place where I could improve. Maybe I should, before I do these videos, do a quick edit through and then make notes on it. That would be smart. Maybe I do that later, moving somewhere. So anyways, but it is kind of important what I put up. So you're playing a part of what? And then these are hour, and then hour. All of that is very strange. Hour, all of that goes together in a segment of time, which is called an hour. But it's our free will. And then I got into Free Willy. Free Willy, that movie. And then I went and looked up the movie because I remembered that there was a song, so now I'm going to try to sing it. Hold me like a river in Jordan, and then I will say to thee, you are my friend, and carry me like you are my brother, like me like a mother. Will you be there, weary? Tell me when you hold me. When wrong will you scold me? When lost will you find me? But they told me a man should be faithful. Oh boy. Woof. I train wrecked. I think I can sing that song. I'm not going to go try to do it again. When I first started into it, I was like, if you really own it, go to the second page. So I think I was doing okay. Let's start again. I want to try it again because I do like this song. Michael Jackson is something. I watched some of his videos last night of his one of his live performances, and man, it was different than anything, I think, if I remember right, because that's what's so amazing about it as you look at it now is that I one of them in particular I remember watching when it was happening, and I was floored then, and then you see it again, and he just was on stage was magical. He was a magician, but also his voice. But the reason why this song resonates with me is one. When I go into a story, this is going to be a long ass video because I'm enjoying it. I was in. This is a very funny story because of the timing. I was in college, and no, I wasn't. I was still in high school. I was in high school, and we had went to a Jimmy Buffett concert. It was one of the first really concerts that I was a part of. Like, I don't think I organized it, but I might have. I think I did organize it. That's the worst part of the story, is I organized people to go to the Jimmy Buffett concert, and I was responsible to drive people there and back, and I had a headlight out, knowing when I went on this that I'm taking people with me with a headlight out, and I was drinking, and we went to this concert, and on the way home, I'm coming home from a concert with the fucking headlight out. I just can't believe how stupid I was. And really, somebody should have shut down the trip when I picked people up and it was realized. There was some people that were in the car that I really betrayed their trust, honestly, and got us all into a really bad situation because of my stupidity and people having faith of me. Or I feel really bad now that I look back on that. Anyways, we got pulled over on the way home. Then I was a smart ass about it, and I literally blew well below the legal limit. But because of my smart assness, they took me to jail, or took me to the police station because I had a headlight out and I was an idiot. And everybody else got kind of in trouble too. But the thing is, I blew like a .03, I think, or a .02. So they really just could get me for illegal consumption with bottles in the car. But what's really interesting is after that happened, I'm not a sunshine person, though. I've had plenty of times where I would not have blown positive, but that particular night I was being, I guess, responsible. I don't even really remember it, obviously, because I don't remember how bad I was a jerk to other people. Terrible. That's terrible. Those people should probably, I mean, their parents too, just because now that I look back on it with a parent's eyes, I'm like, that kid, don't be around him. That's pretty, he's an idiot. Why would anybody put me in charge of anything? Anyways, so, but, yeah, so, but then to put anything on top of that, my parents dealt with me like they did. Somehow I ended up in Ball State at a party. I went to a dorm. I think my parents conceded that I was allowed to go as long as I didn't drink. And I was being good, but we were at the dorm and we were sitting in there. And this song came on, the Free Willy song. And I was around some friends and they had never really heard me. They'd heard me sing before, but I got into it. And I think everybody might have been hungover. I don't even really remember this situation, and I was just sitting there and I was just like, hold me like a river Jordan, and then I will say to thee. See, I'm not hitting it, but whenever I did, get some water. Try it again, maybe. This is my show, baby. Hold me like a river Jordan, and then I will say to thee. I can't. I got my legs crossed. It's kind of frustrating because I've hit it before, and I don't like when I can't get to where it was. But anyways, it was a really good moment because everybody was kind of eyebrowed up, and they're like, damn. And then so later that day, they decided, I loosened up, and I'm like, I can have a fucking beer. So I had a beer. And then I think I had 2, maybe even 3. And then somewhere in the middle of it, they decided they want to go to this party. And I was kind of pissed off because I'm like, guys, I said I was going to drink a beer or two if we stayed here, but now you're fucking taking me out. So I begrudgingly go out to this party, and guess what? It's a party that gets busted by excise, and they're designed to basically, they're almost like a tax agency where they go in and they use morality to collect money from young kids with daddy's credit card. That it's so bad. And they put us all in this fucking wagon. But I'm there, and I think I was positioned in a place. I didn't drink at the party. I'm just sitting there chilling, waiting around for my friends to be fucking done because I didn't want to sit. I could have stayed in the. It's my bad. I could have stayed, but whatever. I thought it'd be fine. So they block off all the doors. So I'm fucking just sitting down there. Other people are hiding, and I'm just like, motherfuckers. So I got to go up to this fucking thing and get in line, and I blow in this fucking thing, and I fucking blow a fucking .0 fucking 2. And they say, in the bus. And I'm like, .02? Come on. And I didn't have my ID because I got arrested, and they had my ID, so I couldn't. That's part of it too, is they're like, well, we got to take you. So fucking somebody's going to have to show you who you are. I had a friend had to come with a yearbook picture of me, and they let me out. Those were the times that we were in, and they paid my bail. And so I got arrested twice in a week. So they used to call me, before that point, my friends, I was kind of like elusive. I always got out of it. And they called me Lucky Fuck. That was my name. There was even like a song, fucking Lucky Fuck. That's what they called me. Because there was no reason, no rhyme or reason why I shouldn't have been arrested somewhere along the lines of, that's how bad of a kid I was. That was my rep. But I got busted twice in a week for illegal consumption. One at .02 and one at .03. Illegal consumption of alcohol. 2 arrests. And I think I had to go to like counseling. They brought me in. This is what they had on me. Now, there was a lot of shit I was doing wrong. And I think everybody probably knew. But so they were trying to put the hammer to me. And I'm just kind of just sitting there like, I get it, but .02. My dad's. Have you met him? All right, so where are we at? Page 6. Oh boy, I got deep now. After all that, I've landed on my butt several times in life on my own account. But what I'd say is the one that was most recent was, I would say I found Jesus in what I think of my life. I believe that I found Jesus in a way that probably more spiritual and more in line with Jesus than what many people that say that the Bible is the Word of God is. That's what I would say. And that's what I'm trying to show, is that that's what I'm doing is not bad. It's not against what Jesus wanted. And I believe that I have am I not allowed to have formed a personal relationship with what you call my Lord and Savior? Am I not allowed to do that? That's where I want to be able to bring that. I think that that's what Jesus would want. And as I stand here today, that for anyone here before or after that carries any kind of guilt for how they have treated me, like if anyone has wronged me and they want to come, and I say let it go. I have let it go. That I think is what is really important. To my enemies, I say you win. You win. To my doubters, I say you should have known better. And I know that you know that I know that you know. Did you know the capital of Alaska? You know? All caps. I don't like when things are in all caps. Have you noticed the similarities of Save the Clock Tower, Back to the Future, Town Hall? They all look really similar. It's really interesting. People that really have watched this far into this video, they know what I'm talking about. Twin Pine, Lone Pine Mall, Back to the Future. That lightning, the flux capacitor, 88, plutonium, Einstein, was a dog. Einie. As a wood rabbit, which is what I am a wood rabbit. That's what I am. I have found, oops, do rabbits do that? That was bad. It's water. I mean, that's not that big of a deal, right? I have found as a rabbit, I enjoy hopping around, seeing where everything leads. I like to go check different places. I'm the kind of guy that if I've got 4 ways to go, I typically will look at the one that's the most boring first and walk that one for a while just to see if it's a trick. And then I'll come back from the boring one and then I get my confidence up. I might at that point go to the hardest one. That might be something that I do, like, well, we'll try the easiest. Let's go. That thing looks rough. Let's see how far we can go, just because I'd feel like I'm at the best point to try because my confidence is at the highest. And then I might get smacked down really hard. And then I might find ways from there where you just keep going out to find the place that where you really were looking is what I found was home. But what I think is the neatest thing about the race between the rabbit or between the hare and the tortoise is that it doesn't really matter. I think the finish line is home. And I think you're just running around it. That is what so that's what I rocketed out of bed to say. I kind of came into that resonance of the rabbit and the air and the hare. To the world, my home is your home. The Tao is great. Do great. Be great. Be grateful. What's funny about this is this was a 7-pager. It was supposed to be less than 7 minutes. About a page a minute. Nope. We're 27 minutes into this sucker. And I have more. One last thing. I've been stretching again. I think that's part of where this new pizzazz is coming from. I did a couple yoga classes, and that helped me. And then I'm really intrigued to keep doing that moving forward. I think I need to put a lot more of my practice. There was one of the yoga instructors kept saying practice in ways that I really liked and aligned. So I like that practice idea. Practice is probably one of our best things that we can do and where we're putting our intent. But I cannot emphasize enough how beneficial just in 1-2 days of that, I already feel it. Like my hip flexors I am getting stronger. And by breaking that stuff, that's tightness that's in places, it like unlocks. It's beneficial to your mind. Even though it's just your body, it's one of those things that is so influential to your mind and your soul. So however tight you are, wherever you're really tight or having problems, take a little time to stretch that. I like a hot bath. I really do. But hot shower is fine, or using those heat things, anything that's going to put warmth on it. And then ice is pretty good too. I don't utilize ice enough. Like I do whenever I'm injured, but I probably should utilize ice more. I know that cold showers are really good. These are things that like you don't want to do, but when you do, you become like Superman. Like Elon Musk probably is doing something. I don't want to bring him in, but the very greatest of the greats out there that are really, the problem is when you start doing this stuff, now you are accountable, dude. You got it, or girls get this much from it. But I think that there is something to masculinity with the cold shower for sure. Anyways, but just doing one step at a time. Once you stretch a little bit, who was I watching? I was watching an old video. Fuck it. We're in like 25 minutes, not 30 minutes. But this is big because I was watching this yesterday with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, and Bruce Willis were all on, I think it was Letterman It was one of those talk shows. No, it was just a different talk show. And they were basically they were pitching the new Hollywood burger joints. But they were talking about their excellence of getting themselves up into this mode. And you could tell that they're on the top of their game, all three of them, really. Bruce Willis did a really weird song. I didn't dig it. I didn't actually watch it. Train wrecked the whole thing. He was trying to be cool with his hat and his voice. I think he can sing. I just thought it was a bad choice. He should have picked something that would have been more popular, I think. But anyways, they were talking about it, and the guy was asking about the no pain, no gain kind of thing. And the way that Arnold basically phrased it was, once you gain how good you feel from feeling great, you just don't, there's no other way to be. Why would you? I can be great. Why wouldn't I be great? And that's really what, and he obviously got all kinds of financial, but I'm pretty sure pretty much everybody, if you build yourself to the greatest you can be body, you're going to gain from that. I don't see how you're going to lose if you're putting emphasis and energy into just making yourself as great as you can be. I mean, but there is ego that comes from that, obviously, with all of those too, where darkness happens. But that's it. We went really long. What was my big point of all of this that I really wanted to hammer home was, I did have resonance with my own video yesterday, or my own live with that home thing. I think once you tuning fork into home, it doesn't matter where you're at. Once you've come, and that is why it's dangerous, because you gain a confidence, I think, and confidence is everything. In my life, as a young man, that was the biggest thing I learned, was that if you do something with confidence, no matter what it is, and then you add all the other elements to it, especially in my design of what I found to be true, then all you have is excellence from that. You're going to gain nothing but goodness. But for some reason, we like to put pits in it and make it all messed up just to mess with it, because it's just too good. Have a great day today. I hope everybody has an awesome one. Do great. Be great. I can't stop. I've had so much fun.